Ultimate Survivor talked about life after tragedy tonight at 11.
It was exciting. I like to call it 7 in a church.
It doesn't accomplish anything. It just has people hanging around with guns cursing at each other going after a stash.
I loved the style. I loved what the actors brought to it.
He must have been the 8th actor they tried to get to play opposite her.
The Illuminati were a secret society dedicated to scientific truth. The Catholic Church ordered a brutal massacre to silence them forever. They've come for their revenge.
Tom Hanks races to stop a sinister plot to destroy the Vatican in Angels and Demons.
Since a Chiavi, it's a one-way portal. The only entrance is on the other side.
Welcome to Real Talk, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Lyons.
I'm Alison Bales. Also new at the movies, Jennifer Aniston's comedy Management, plus Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo in The Brothers Bloom.
Also the comedy Next Day Air and an early review of Terminator Salvation.
And don't miss my chat with Angels and Demons co-star Ewan McGregor.
First, let's review the eagerly awaited sequel to The Da Vinci Code. Angels and Demons again stars Tom Hanks as Harvard symbologist Robert Langdon. He's asked to return to the Vatican, this time to help locate 4 cardinals kidnapped by a long-forgotten secret society called the Illuminati.
Someone is trying to make you believe the Illuminati themselves have returned to Rome right after the death of a pope.
4 cardinals were kidnapped from their quarters inside the Vatican sometime between 3 and 5 a.m. this morning. Shortly afterward, that document was sent to the office of the Swiss Guard along with the threat the cardinals will be publicly executed 1 per hour beginning at 8 p.m. tonight in Rome.
Ewan McGregor co-stars as an Irish priest and confidant to the recently deceased Pope. The clock is ticking not only for the kidnapped cardinals, but because there's a bomb made up of antimatter, the so-called God particle. It's hidden somewhere inside the Vatican. Director Ron Howard delivers a fast-paced thriller filled with duplicitous characters and false leads. Hanks is convincing as he frantically races around Rome with the help of the scientist played by Israeli actress Ayelet Zurer, trying to decipher the clues left by the kidnapper.
But the Illuminati were infiltrators. There wasn't a powerful organization on Earth they didn't penetrate, including the Vatican, by hiding in plain sight. Let angels guide thee on thy lofty quest. This is the first marker.
Boy, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a much more conventionally structured movie than the earlier film. It doesn't depend on having read the novels or knowing the earlier film. And as they careen around Rome, going from clue to clue, except for the last 10 minutes of the movie, which I think was silly, it is a first-rate intelligent thriller.
Yeah, it's kind of a glorified tourist promotional spot for Rome, but it was exciting. I like to call it 7 in a church. I mean, it has the same premise of these 4 cardinals. They're going to be murdered one by one if Robert Langdon doesn't solve the clues. It's preposterous. He's pulling books off the shelves in 5 minutes flat and finding clues. Research would have taken him days.
Suspension of disbelief.
I don't think this film should have worked as well as it does. It's so fast-paced. It's so exciting. It is. But really, I think that Tom Hanks is the least interesting character. You have Ewan McGregor, Armin Mueller-Stahl, and Stellan Skarsgård. Nice international. And Ayelet Zurer, who was very good, I thought. Those are the characters you never know who's on the side of good, who's on the side of evil. I like that.
You know what else is another character? Not only the city of Rome, but the arcane traditions and symbolisms and things hidden behind false clues and the way they go about it and the protocol. That I found fascinating.
It's fairly interesting, but you have to go to the websites and start checking out what's fact and fiction and about the Illuminati. It's pretty interesting. Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo play conmen siblings in the globe-trotting caper The Brothers Bloom, opening in limited release. Ruffalo plays Stephen, the brother who concocts all the scams, and Brody his younger brother Bloom. He dreams of a normal life. Hoping to retire soon, he agrees to pull off one last deception.
Less painful ways of cutting to a mark, you know.
Score to beat a 7.9. Keep your head in the game. The Japanese judge is very tough.
This is a banana seed, man. There's actually a knack to this. If you're trying to fast track into a mark's sympathies, there's nothing quite as effective as having your first conversation be from a hospital bed they put you in.
Rachel Weisz plays a zany, rich heiress who is to be their final mark, but things are complicated when Bloom develops feelings for her. She is seduced by the thrill of the con and soon joins the brothers and their silent partner, Bang Bang, Oscar nominee Rinko Kikuchi, on a European adventure in this eccentric twist on the familiar genre. The genre of the con movie, we see it a lot. This film reminded me in some ways of Top Cappy, the Pink Panther, the way they travel around to these beautiful locations. Rian Johnson directed it. He did a film called Brick. I think this is more successful than that film. I loved the style. I loved what the actors brought to it. It's set in today's world, yet it has an old world feel to it, from the costumes to the sets, not the sets, but the backdrops. And I just think it was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I liked it not quite as much as you did, perhaps, but I think the brothers played off each other very well. The first part of the movie, showing them as little boy con artists, is terrific. And who knew Rachel Weisz could do comedy this way? In one scene, she says, "Oh, I have lots of hobbies. I collect hobbies." And they have a hilarious montage of all the things she's tried. And the film, I think, gets a little bit too long and kind of drags towards the end, but not enough for me not to recommend it. I had a good time.
And Robbie Coltrane's in it, another reason to recommend it.
Now to Management. It's a comedy starring Jennifer Aniston as a traveling saleswoman. She peddles paintings for offices and hotels. Steve Zahn co-stars as the manager of an Arizona motel where Aniston is staying during a business trip. Zahn shows up unannounced at her hotel room and makes a keen observation.
You have a great butt. I noticed the moment you checked in and
Thank you.
hope that isn't too,
No. I mean, yeah, but
thank you for that.
do you do this a lot, Mike?
No,
Sometimes?
very rarely,
Does it ever work?
never.
Zahn's clumsy approach somehow works, and the two wind up having sex in the laundry room. Smitten by this attractive woman, Zahn chases her across the country to Maryland, her home office. Undeterred by her rejection, he later skydives into the LA swimming pool of her boyfriend, an old grunge rock star played by Woody Harrelson. As preposterous as this scene looks and sounds, the movie is worse, a listless exercise with two bland lead actors who have zero chemistry, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt when I say zero. You get the feeling that Steve Zahn was the 8th actor they asked to do this movie because it's a role that demands a lead, not a perennial sidekick actor. But they're both so uninteresting here, and he is a stalker. Why doesn't she just get her, call the police about this guy?
That was the problem for me, is I never bought for a second that she wouldn't get a restraining order on this guy who basically stalks her across the country. And they're trying to make her look dowdy and everyday, and she just looks so, with her mousy brown hair, and she just looks so uninteresting, and her acting is uninteresting. She executive produced the project. For some reason, she must have had a passion about it. I don't know why. When Woody Harrelson playing one of his preposterously over-the-top caricatures is the funniest thing in the movie, you're in a bad way.
I would have liked to have seen the pitch meeting or the screenwriter saying, "You have a nice butt."
Well, the screenwriter,
really.
Stephen Belber, did Tape, which I thought was a great play and film. I'm surprised that he wrote this, actually.
Well, let's move on now to Next Day Air, which stars Donald Faison. He plays a delivery man for a shipping service. Unfortunately, he spends too much time getting high with his buddy, played by Mos Def, and winds up delivering a package containing a large stash of cocaine to the wrong apartment.
What is this? I don't know. Hansi brought that in there. You got that knife? I know this ain't what I think it is. It is? Yeah! Hold it. Am I dreaming? No. This is too much like a dream. Where did this come from? God sent that. No.
Stolen were the best.
Two dim-witted small-time crooks, portrayed by Mike Epps and Wood Harris, suddenly find themselves with a ticket to big-time crime, or so they think. Soon this witless, needlessly violent movie turns into a predictable cat-and-mouse game as these two dopes try to outrun the dealer looking to get his drugs back. Comparisons have been made to the Guy Ritchie kind of movies, and this is nowhere near that. It's needlessly graphic in its violence. If you take out the off-color language, you have a 5-minute screenplay, it seems, and it doesn't accomplish anything. It just has people hanging around with guns cursing at each other going after a stash.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were going for an homage to a blaxploitation film from the 70s, but it fails miserably. The acting is bad, and I think the director is a music video director, Benny Boom. He's definitely trying to be Guy Ritchie with the flashbacks and the freeze frames and the cool language and the comedy mixed with the violence. But if there's no comedy in the script, then the violence makes no sense. And it was a shock to me that it was so violent because you're not expecting expecting it at all, but it's not funny violence.
In the Guy Ritchie movie, the characters were funny. You didn't like to like them, but you did kind of a way. They're quirky. Here, they're not. And there are too many characters running around, too.
Totally unoriginal.
Yeah. Well, opening in limited release this week is Adoration from writer-director Adam Agoya, and it tells the story of a young man who uses a class assignment to reimagine and explore a deeply personal family tragedy. Starring Devin Bostic and Scott Speedman, Adoration is this week's web exclusive. You can find our in-depth review at realtalktv.com.
And Jeffrey, we do disagree on that one.
Yes, we do.
Much more still to come on Real Talk, including my chat with Ewan McGregor about keeping the faith with Tom Hanks on Angels and Demons.
And don't miss our early review of Terminator Salvation starring Christian Bale.
Look at that.
Now when you take art outside, you can bring it to life with Crayola Outdoor 3D Chalk and Glasses. It's colorful, it's washable, you won't believe your eyes. Outdoor 3D Chalk and Paint, only from Crayola. Find the new Outdoor Airbrush and Super Bright Sidewalk Crayons in the Crayola aisle. Crayola, everything imaginable.
It's a compact revolution.
Introducing L'Oreal's new True Match Compact Makeup. Our very first compact makeup that liquefies on contact, so it actually mimics skin's tone and texture.
Now the coverage, super blendable.
The feel, super weightless.
Never heavy, never cakey.
And only True Match comes in 18 warm, neutral, and cool shades that mimic skin, actually liquefying on contact for beautiful coverage you love to wear.
This is a compact revolution.
And we're worth it.
New True Match Compact Makeup, only by L'Oreal. People we rely on in the morning can rely on Dulcolax laxative tablets overnight. So when people are counting on you, count on Dulcolax laxative tablets the night before. They give you predictable overnight relief to help get you feeling like yourself again in the morning. And they're gentle on your stomach because they're comfort coated. No wonder people who need to be somewhere in the morning take Dulcolax laxative tablets the night before. Dulcolax laxative tablets. Keep you moving.
Now you can bring art to life with Crayola 3D Chalk and Glasses. It's colorful, it's washable, it's only from Crayola. Find the new Outdoor Airbrush and Super Bright Sidewalk Crayons in the Crayola aisle. Crayola, everything imaginable.
3 words for color like this, I want it. L'Oreal's Faria puts an end to dull and flat. Color this prismatic, I want it. With triple highlights, I want it. Hair feels like silk the minute you rinse. So the shimmer I want is a shimmer I get. Faria Hair Color by L'Oreal.
Do you believe in God, sir?
Father, I simply believe that religion...
I did not ask if you believe what man says about God. I asked if you believe in God.
Ewan McGregor plays a Vatican priest in the Roman Catholic conspiracy thriller Angels and Demons. It's the latest addition to his eclectic resume, which runs the gamut from a train-spotting junkie to a Jedi Knight. Time for Ewan McGregor to get our top billing. What I liked about this, as opposed to the Da Vinci Code, was that I think in this there was a little bit more of character development. You and Tom Hanks, your characters have some great conversations about faith.
I think that is the whole argument at the center of the film is religion versus science, and can the two come together? And you know, from where I stand, because I'm not a religious person and I'm not hugely interested in science, I can understand why science might be the exploration and the understanding of the world that God created, but I'm right in the middle of both of those arguments, whereas my character is on the extreme right-hand side of religion and feels that if science is allowed to claim the act of creation, which is what in our story they've done by creating antimatter, then what is left for God? You know, what is left for the church?
There are simply some things that science is just too young to understand. So the church pleads, stop. Slow down. Think, wait.
Now, this is a time of year where we see films with, you know, a lot of special effects, robots turning into cars, people with adamantium skeletons and such. Yet here you're in a film where it's sort of heady topic for a sort of summer movie.
Yeah. It has lots of special effects in it, in that we weren't allowed to shoot in the Vatican, and the story is set in the Vatican. So there was a lot of digital work done in that sense to put us in the Vatican, if you like.
But those are different special effects, because watching the film, I didn't know whether you were there in Rome or not. I mean, obviously, a lot of stuff with Tom Hanks running around the city, he's in Rome. But the stuff in the Vatican, you didn't shoot it there, so were you not
I didn't get to shoot in Rome at all, sadly. And I've wanted to work there for years, and I thought this was it. I thought this was my Roman film. But sadly, I didn't get to shoot there at all. Like 95% of my work was done in LA.
Is it hard for you to do publicity for such a film? There are some big twists in the film. It's not, I mean, I don't
It's very difficult to talk about well, it's quite difficult to...
You're a woman.
I'm not revealed to be a woman at any point in this, although I do wear a cassock, I suppose. But there's no pan up to reveal my or anything like that.
I don't think you remember this, but back in 1994... you were at your first Sundance, I believe, with a film called Shallow Grave.
Yeah.
I interviewed you way outside of Park City in a graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
Sat you on a cold tombstone in the snow. Do you remember that?
I remember that. I remember being in the graveyard, yes.
Yeah.
And obviously remember you.
Obviously.
From then too.
Obviously. I was working for the Independent Film Channel when I first started seeing a lot of your films, I think in the early to mid-90s. And you were known to take risky roles. You took your clothes off a lot, let's just say it.
Yes.
But recently you've played a Jedi Knight and now a priest.
Yeah.
No taking off the clothes.
No, I mean, I've never looked for work that requires me to take off my clothes. I don't phone up my agent and go, well, does he get his kit off? It's not like part of my decision making.
I mean, especially these days, we're seeing so many comedies where male frontal nudity is played for laughs. I mean, I'm thinking of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Observe and Report. I mean, it seems to be now that it's much more common.
I was pleased when he came along, because I just thought, thank God they'll talk about his penis now, not mine, you know.
Watch my entire interview with the fully clothed and memory-challenged Ewan McGregor on our website. He also gives up lots of details about his upcoming gay romance, I Love You, Philip Morris, with Jim Carrey. Jeffrey?
Our DVD roundup's next, and the battle between man versus machine rages on in Terminator Salvation. Stay tuned for our review.
Come with me if you want to live.
DVD Roundup begins with Tom Cruise in Valkyrie, the World War II thriller about a real-life plot to assassinate Hitler in 1944. Cruise does a masterful job as the German army colonel who heads the daring scheme, aided by a talented supporting cast. Director Bryan Singer ratchets up the tension in this smart, historically accurate drama.
Also new on DVD, the outsized comedy about the outsized security guard, Paul Blart Mall Cop. This dismal, flat-footed Kevin James vehicle made a ton of money despite a drubbing from most critics, including myself and Jeffrey. Also out is the little scene Nothing But the Truth, starring Kate Beckinsale as a reporter who uncovers the identity of a CIA operative played by Vera Farmiga. She goes to jail rather than reveal her source in director Rod Lurie's intelligent thriller about national security and the First Amendment.
Our early review of Terminator Salvation is up in 60 seconds.
And next week, Jessica Biel, Ben Barnes, and Colin Firth star in the period comedy Easy Virtue.
Plus, Ben Stiller and a host of other characters return for another night at the museum.
Great Gatsby.
Time now for an early review of Terminator Salvation, which debuts on Thursday. It's the next installment of the popular series kicked off by James Cameron in 1984. This one is set in 2018, 14 years after Judgment Day, when the machines have taken over and forced human survivors into hiding. But a resistance has formed, fronted by a man many people believe to be a prophet.
This is John Connor. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
John Connor. We gotta find this guy.
Christian Bale brings weight and a palpable sense of despair to the character, a man who has grown up knowing his own destiny and the future of mankind. But the arrival of a stranger from the past, impressively portrayed by Sam Worthington, threatens that future, and Anton Yelchin, cannily suggesting Michael Biehn from the first Terminator film, plays a young Kyle Reese, whose survival is imperative to mankind's future. Director McGee hasn't met a set he doesn't want to blow to smithereens, but he handles the mythology well in this compelling continuation of the saga.
This is not the time for a rescue mission. What you ask for will undermine the whole operation.
Skynet has Kyle Reese.
And that is his fate.
No, it's our fate. I have to save him.
He is the key to the future, to the past. Without him, we lose everything.
No, you stay the course.
If we stay the course, we are dead. We are all dead.
I really do think there were too many explosions for my liking. Maybe it's because I'm a typical girl. I wanted to see more development of Christian Bale's character with Sam Worthington's character. You don't know this guy's come from the past. Is he from the future? There's a lot of mystery about his character. Bryce Dallas Howard got shortchanged as Connor's wife. But despite all that, I had a great time. I loved what McGee did with mythology. I loved trying to think, okay, this is after Judgment Day, but it's before Kyle Reese goes back in time, so the Terminators haven't quite been developed yet to the Arnold Schwarzenegger level of Terminator. So that was all fun to handle. And the story is just, I think, so great.
I love the way you were able to synthesize that story, explaining what's going on. There's a lot going on here. I often was lost, but I didn't care, because first of all, it started out scaring me because it's only 2018, which sounds like it's far in the future. It's way around the corner, just around the corner, I should say. But I also like the fact that there's the great special effects interacting with the live actors. And Christian Bale angry, boy, what a stretch there. He's very good. He's very charismatic. And how about Anton Yelchin? In 1 week, he opens in Star Trek, and now he opens in this movie. He's very good, has a fine supporting cast. The action is nonstop. I often don't like movies like that, but here I was absorbed by it because so much is going on. You can latch onto the story or just let what's on the screen unfold.
Anton Yelchin is the real surprise here because he really suggests Michael Biehn without imitating him in any way. It's very good casting.
Absolutely. Well, we'll debate A-list actor salaries next in Final Takes.
This is Zachary Quinto. You are watching Real Talk.
I made this for you. Do you like it?
What do you say?
Thank you. Nick, come on!
What do you say?
Please.
What do you say?
Nate did it? What do you say?
He always wants a Happy Meal, and with apples and low-fat milk. I'm happy to get it.
Look at that.
Now when you take art outside, you can bring it to life with Crayola Outdoor 3D Chalk and Glasses. It's colorful, it's washable, you won't believe your eyes. Outdoor 3D Chalk and Paint, only from Crayola. Find the new Outdoor Airbrush and super bright sidewalk crayons in the Crayola aisle. Crayola, everything imaginable.
People we rely on in the morning can rely on Dulcolax laxative tablets overnight. They give you predictable overnight relief to help get you feeling like yourself again in the morning. Dulcolax laxative tablets keep you moving. You don't need to spend a fortune on deep wrinkle treatments when you can see results with L'Oreal's new Revitalift Deep Set Wrinkle Repair, the #1 anti-wrinkle brand, proven to help repair your very resistant deep set wrinkles for under $20. New Revitalift Deep Set Wrinkle Repair by L'Oreal.
Closed captions provided by... Fight tough stains with new Soft Scrub Scrubby Pads, the only product that combines the power of soft scrub with the convenience of a wipe. Just wet, squeeze, clean, and toss.
Jeffrey, the breakfast timer called you a nitwit. None of the machines back here like you, Jeffrey.
Fight the machines with the new handmade Grand Sandwich from Denny's, just $4.99.
Now to our final takes, where we've begun responding to your suggestions to discuss issues vital to the film industry. Tom Wendling of Queens, New York wonders if instead of outrageous salaries paid to veteran stars who no longer can guarantee huge audiences, studios should instead forego paying A-list actors $15 to $20 million salaries and instead offer a percentage of the profits. Stars like Julia Roberts and Tom Cruise, who often get huge salaries up front and a piece of the profits, have appeared in recent box office flops. But I, for one, am skeptical this practice would ever gain traction. Not just because agents would resist it, but because studio accounting practices have historically been difficult to trust. And the movie business has too many uncertainties for actors and their agents to agree to such a risky arrangement. Although Jim Carrey did do a similar deal for Yes Man, and back in the days of Sound of Music, Julie Andrews was given a choice. She said, "I'll take the profits," made much more money than Christopher Plummer, who took a set fee up front.
Well, then it really speaks to the faith that the actor has in the the project. And at least this way it guards against actors taking a project just because they're going to get paid $20 million. If they get paid less up front, but they gamble on the back end, then that speaks to them taking projects they truly believe in, which I think is great. I think studios need to look at actors' previous work and see how they're doing. I don't think studios should be paying Nicole Kidman, Renee Zellweger $20 million because their last few films, the both of them, have been box office flops.
I think each movie is a different business proposal. Do you have the actor you want? Do you have the budget you want? And is it the right time of year to release such a film? Do you think audiences are going to crave it? There is no steadfast rule that you can abide by.
Don't forget to send us your final take suggestions. Go to our website to find out how.
You'll also find a list of some upcoming lower-profile films that offer a reprieve from all the noisy summer movie spectacles. Meantime, my must-see film this week is Angels and Demons.
And my pick is The Brothers Bloom. We'll see you next week.
The Ultimate Survivor talks about life after tragedy tonight at 11.
You can watch CBS shows in high definition on KOIN Local 6 Digital Channel 6.1 or on Comcast Channel 706.